Welcome to the OT, presented by Ford.
Well, America's game of the week between the Packers and the Bears lived up to the hype. The Packers get the win inside the final seconds. The rematch happens in 2 weeks from Soldier Field right here on Fox on Saturday, December 20th. But right now, we want to catch you up on everything that's happened so far here in Week 14, starting with the new top seed in the NFC.
All right, Rams, you're back on the top seed. You lost last week to Carolina. You didn't lose today. Good job by Stafford. 3 touchdown passes on the day. This is Puka Nacua, a 31-yard touchdown. Nacua, what am I talking about here? 7 for 167 and 2 TDs. Blake Corum, 128 yards. Now we go, moving on. You're looking at a good football game here with the Raiders. That's Marvin Mims Jr. taking this ball back, 48 yards for the touchdown. The Broncos have now won 10 straight football games, 24-17 Denver over the Las Vegas. Joe Burrow, 4 touchdown passes on the day. Josh Allen, 3, so you would think Cincinnati wins. Well, you're wrong. Josh Allen keeps it, runs from 40 yards and a touchdown, making the Bengals up 28-25 over Buffalo. Late in the fourth quarter, Joe Burrow's pass is picked off by Christian Benford. Look, tries to shuffle over the head of Benford. He picks it off, returns it 63 yards later for the touchdown. Next possession, he would throw another interception. 39-34, Buffalo on top of Cincinnati. Jaden Daniels, young quarterback for the Washington Commanders, re-injures his left elbow. I would not have played him in this game, and that's the very reason right there. J.J. McCarthy, 3 touchdown passes on the day, finding tight end Hawkinson with a 2-yarder there, 31-0. Minnesota all over Washington. Sam Darnold also 3 touchdown passes. And Jigma, there he is, 28 yards. Quick post, turn on the speed, break a tackle. There you go, touchdown. 2 touchdowns for him on the day, 37-9. Seattle all over Atlanta. Shedeur Sanders with his dad, Dion, before the game. How cool is that? Dad and son, you gotta love it. Sanders finding Harold Fannin Jr. Step up, lobs it out. Nice throw, excellent catch, 7-yard touchdown. Tennessee, though, 31-29.
3 touchdown passes and 1 rushing for Shedeur.
I didn't understand this play, though.
They go for 2 to try and tie the game.
You take your quarterback out, though.
Shedeur was on the bench. Quinshon Judkins, incomplete. Titans win 31-29.
That was crazy. Daniel Jones coming in this game with a broken fibula on his right leg, injures his Achilles tendon on his left. He tears it, leaves the game with the
flip-flop, but that's okay.
In a boot, huh?
Flip-flop.
Yep.
Had the torn Achilles on his right leg. He is done for the season.
Oh, that flip-flop, gotcha. ETN, 28-yard touchdown. Jacksonville all over Indy, 36-19. There he is. Man, you just shake your head and go, what else is going to happen this year? Aaron Rodgers, Steeler quarterback, future Hall of Famer. He looks for Jaylen Warren, set up, moving right into the flat. Warren, nobody there. It's man coverage. Everybody's run off with their people. Warren takes it in from 38 yards, 27-16 Pittsburgh at this point. And then later on, with less than 10 seconds left to play, Jackson is sacked by Highsmith as time runs out and the Steelers go on to beat Baltimore 27-22. Their rematch is in 2 weeks in Pittsburgh. Tyler Shuck, here we go. New Orleans. Anybody see this happening today? I know I didn't.
Nope.
Avoids the sack, 13-yard touchdown run. Saints, are you kidding me? Got nothing to play for other than pride. They beat Tampa Bay, who had everything to play for. It is 24 New Orleans, 20 Tampa Bay. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, pitch it out. There he is, a 13-yard touchdown. Miami now has won I believe four in a row, 34-10. Miami over the New York Jets. Wow.
All right, let's get to our FedEx Air and Ground players of the day. For the air, he goes to Puka Nacua. 7 catches, 160 yards, and believe it or not, a career-high 2 receiving touchdowns. He had never done that before. The Rams get the big win over Arizona. They're now the #1 seed in the NFC. And Josh Allen ran for 78 yards on the snowy ground, including a 40-yard touchdown scramble. The Bills overcame a 10-point fourth-quarter deficit to beat the Bengals in a game they absolutely, positively needed to win. Well, the Green Bay Packers did just that today against the Chicago Bears. When we continue here on the OT, we'll hear from their quarterback and one of their defensive stars as they speak with Aaron Andrews. We'll also get you inside Tom Brady's head. What is he thinking about this NFC North matchup? He'll join us live on the other side, and we'll check in on the winning locker rooms around the National Football League here in Week 14 as we march towards the end of the season. I tell you, it's a merry feeling if you're a Packer fan right now. Lambeau leaping and having a good time after the big win over the Bears. And your Christmas tree comes. Ice and Tree Farms there in Green Bay, and they're happy right now. Packer fans are after the big 28-21 win in that huge divisional matchup against the Chicago Bears. Green Bay now in first place, and as soon as the game was done, their quarterback and one of their star defenders spoke with Aaron Andrews.
Keyshawn Nixon and Jordan Love joining me right now. Keyshawn just reminding me, the last drive before your game-saving interception was the one, 17 plays, took forever. You guys were gassed. Tell me about the interception. What'd you see there?
They had like a late leak play. Saw the tight end open. I just went and manned it up. Threw the ball. I had to go get it. We want to win the North, and that was a big thing since I've been here. 4 years we haven't won it yet, and we have to bring it back to Lambeau for sure.
All right, you're a mild-mannered guy. You always say the right thing. But when you see this guy make the play, come on, Jordan, what'd you think?
I was juiced. I mean, come on. Like, that's how you ice it. I mean, in these games, division game, everything on the line, that's when you need your best players to go out there and make their best plays. And that's what K9 did right there.
You guys, this was better than a reality show. I mean, all the buildup going into this, what the coaches had said coming in, you guys just saying, let's see what transpires here in the game. We'll talk about it. The top spot in the North was on the line. What was it like playing in this?
Lambeau is always a great atmosphere to play in, but I think this is my first ever having a meaningful game against the Bears since I've been here, and we know Lambeau's going to show up. We're going to show up for him. That's what we did for sure.
Jordan, what about you?
No, it was amazing. Like he said, great atmosphere. We knew what it was coming into this game. Huge game. And like I say, that's when we need to be at our best and go take advantage and go get what we want. And that's the NFC North.
How about we do it again in 2 weeks at Soldier Field, guys? We'll see you there. Congratulations.
Shirt's ready.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, Aaron Andrews was working the sidelines. Tom Brady was up in the booth. He is still there, hanging out just to talk to us. Good to see you,
Man,
TB.
You used to be my hero.
Only my love for you guys could
Tom?
keep me here. Only my love for you guys could keep me here an extra 20 minutes.
Tom, you were feared. Oh, my God.
Is what happens when you become a TV guy. All right, we talked about this game coming in. We talked about the rivalry, how much was on the line today. I'd love to hear your impressions now that you've seen these two teams go at it and how it finished.
Well, it was just a perfect atmosphere. Lambeau, Packers have been playing good football. Bears, no one's been hotter than them. And it was kind of like strength on strength. There was a lot of things the Packers defense did well that kind of mitigated what some of the things that Chicago did well. So last night in our production meeting, we said, I don't know how much of a high-scoring game it's going to be, but both teams got really creative with their scheme. Ben Johnson, I think, did a phenomenal job calling plays for Caleb. The run game, they just pounded it out. But in the end, the home team, the fourth quarter drive by Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, they really made some great plays down the stretch when they needed it. It was an awesome game to cover.
Tom, I'm just going to go right to the headline. Ben Johnson saying we look forward to beating Green Bay 2 times a year. Now listen, you as the player and I as a player, we would never want. We're not going to say those kind of things and put it on the bulletin board. How shocked were you? And did you see the handshake after the game?
Yeah, I'm sure it was as icy as the temperature. And I think both teams had to go out and buy extra bulletin boards going into the week. There was a lot of material both ways. You got coaches talking smack. I mean, the coaches are like, hey, guys, don't talk smack. No, they're like, screw that. We're saying whatever we want, the two of them. It's just the way it's going to go. And those two young coaches going to be in these programs for a while. We're going to see some great matchups between these teams.
Gronk, you want
Tom, yeah, you got to toughen up, my man. You got 4 layers of coats on. You're wearing gloves now. You know how many cold games you played in? I'm a little disappointed in you right now. But I got a question. Let's get to the game. That final play call by the Chicago Bears, what did you think about it? You feel like they got a little bit too cute with that play action and throwing it into the end zone when they should have run the ball instead?
I think they were trying to get someone in the flat. It was just a 2-level pattern. Someone in the flat Swift, which they took away. So he's kind of forced to throw to Kmet. He had him early. He just held on to that ball a little long, and that gave Nixon, who's got a lot of speed, a chance to undercut it. He made a great game-saving play. But I did like the call, allowing Caleb to get onto the perimeter to use his legs. He's done such a good job of that all season long. Give him a little run-pass option. In the end, Green Bay just made the game-winning play.
All right, Tom. Well, we're going to do something for you, man. Get out of here. Your teeth are about to start chattering. Get out of here. We appreciate you sticking around for us, man. Great job today, though.
We'll see you. A t-shirt.
We'll see you next week.
Great, guys. Love you guys. I'll see you soon.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy. Thank you very much for Tom Brady. He called that game up in Green Bay. When we come back, we're going to get inside a lot of the locker rooms after the wins this week, including right there at Lambeau Field, where the celebration is indeed on after they win one, maybe winning it for their coach. We'll talk about that and more after this.
At the stock exchange. What's going on in there?
Well, the holiday spirit is in full swing. If your team thinking about the playoffs right now, as a lot of teams are as we get into the final weeks of the season. Week 14 just about in the books. And here's how it looks at the moment in the AFC, where the Broncos and Patriots, both 11-2, both riding 10-game win streak, but the Broncos own the tiebreaker and are the number 1 seed right now. The Steelers move up into that 4th spot, knocking off the Baltimore Ravens today, and then it's the Bills, Chargers, and Colts in the hunt. The Colts kind of heading the other way, losing 3 straight and having lost their quarterback for the season. And guys, when you take a look at this, first of all, which one were you going to say? I thought you were.
I was, while you were talking, Houston caught my eye. They're playing Kansas City tonight.
Right. Yep.
And I'm thinking, the team we've been talking about defensively is Houston. Mm-hmm. But did you see the way that Jacksonville played today? Pretty doggone impressive.
Yeah.
So here comes.
Quarterback played well, too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the one that intrigues me is it's Denver and New England for the top spot. I mean, right now Denver's sitting at 11-2. They've got Green Bay, a hot Jacksonville, and at Kansas City, which could be, you don't know what that game's going to look like. Kansas City could be out of it, but looking to play spoilers. And New England has Buffalo, and Buffalo sent a little message today. We're for real again, and at Baltimore. And you never know what that's going to be. So I think really it's going to be a fascinating couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Pittsburgh. And you called it. I thought you were out of your mind when you said you're going to win the division, but you just might be right. You just might be right.
I might be out of my mind.
You might be out of your mind.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, but that's a good thing because, the way Pittsburgh showed up today, I mean, just to see the excitement, especially after everything that they've been hearing. Yeah, but they've been hearing so much. Mike Tomlin should be fired. Mike Tomlin this.
The team's
and they
bad.
went out there and responded, which goes to show for all you Steeler fans out there, your players play for that coach. And that's very important because there's so many players out there who don't play for their coaches, especially when that coach is on the hot seat.
See him put the belt on?
Yeah. Yeah, he put that belt on like, give me what Rodgers got. Give me some of that. But that was something to watch Pittsburgh go against a good Baltimore team that's had some good moments the last few weeks and show up.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers as well, Michael. They ignored the noise, and they went into a hostile environment in Baltimore, basically a playoff game this was. And it's always a backyard brawl between these two teams when they play. And a player that stepped up, that needed to finally step up and own like that he's the top dog at the wide receiver position is DK Metcalf. He went for over 140 yards, 7 catches, and that's what you need in big games like that going against your rival, especially on the road.
For those of you that are counting Kansas City out, let me tell you what Kansas City is going through. They've had so much success being in Super Bowl, winning Super Bowls. The players are almost, Howie, they're almost bored a little bit. They want to get to the playoff, then they jack it up. Tonight,
they're not getting to the playoffs right now. They're 2 games out of the last playoff spot,
Kurt,
and 2 teams in between.
So, Kurt, you just interrupted me.
He sounds insane. He sounds crazy, but let him finish.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Kansas City wins tonight. All right, Kansas City, if you're counting them out, you're making a huge mistake. They're just anxious to get to the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs.
They're making the playoffs?
And they're going to win tonight.
Well,
they got 3 offensive linemen
tonight they got
Brock, what did I just say? They're going to win.
But tonight they got a tough Houston defense.
Exactly.
It's going to be a challenge, okay?
With
but
3
then they have Denver, the second to last game. But they have the Chargers. They have Tennessee. They have Vegas. Those are 3 games that they can win. I look at Kansas City, I don't think of a team that's bored. To be honest with you, I think of a team that's tired.
Ran out of gas.
Every year, these guys are having an extended season.
They've played an additional season plus.
Because they had so much success. So after so many years of success, people do get worn down a little bit. Guys' energy wanes a little bit. Now they're trying to pick it up
You
at
go
the
to
end.
work one day a week.
People
one day a week.
They're
It's not
down,
that easy.
2-3 offensive line.
Right.
Versus the best defense in football, arguably.
And what has made you believe the Kansas City we've seen through 12 games is going to turn things around?
Because his wife is a Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I think people also look back in the last 6 years. That's not this team this season.
I talked about them being out 2 tackles. There's Smith, their right guard, is out.
Yeah.
But you know what, folks? They also have Andy Reid, and I believe in Andy Reid like I believe in Mike Tomlin. Listen, I am not crossing them off until they're
okay.
done.
Let's move on from Kansas City because the team that I think people don't talk about,
that?
the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
They're the #1 seed right now. They've won 10 straight games, and yet we keep talking about New England or maybe Kansas City or maybe Houston.
They've got Green Bay at home, albeit. They've got Jacksonville at home, and they're at Kansas City. And once again, that Kansas City game could be Kansas City playing spoiler. That could be Kansas City in desperation mode, looking to make the playoffs. So they've got 3 really tough weeks.
And you got to give Sean Payton a lot of credit. I mean, and not only, you think of Sean Payton, you're thinking an offensive coach, which he really is, but offensive struggle. And this team is still the #1 seed.
You better not struggle when you get into the playoffs.
No, but what I'm
You're
saying is this team is a
Michael.
team. It's not just. I'm not. I want to
not Jack.
that. Call me Jack. Hey, whatever, man. I'm the worst. But this is
funny
for an offensive coach to have a defensive-led team. If they can get that offense on track going into the playoffs, Denver is a serious.
The quarterback, if he could just turn the corner here a little bit down the stretch, get hot like he did last year. He got hot last year at the end of the year. If he can do that, that defense is great.
All right, let me see
and the
what
Denver
he did
Broncos,
today. Bo Nix,
they're not
31
they're not a
38.
flashy offense, Terry.
Yeah.
They got to do a lot more going into the playoffs. And if they want to win those big games going deep into the playoffs, they got to become flashy on the offensive side of the ball. They got to take chances. They got to throw those deep balls. They got to use Bo Nix to the most potential that he could possibly, establish himself as a quarterback and use his strengths to, their advantages. Yes, their defense is going to play well, but that offense needs to step it up to a whole nother level and get over that hump in the playoffs. They're fine in regular season.
What do you get over the hump? What are you talking about? What do you want him to do? He's not throwing touchdown passes.
They're just winning. They're squeaking by with these wins. What they got to do is they got to show that they can go down the field.
Did you not say wins?
They are winning,
Okay,
but when it comes to playoffs, they're going to be facing the best of the best, Terry, and they're going to need those, deep ball throws. They're going to need the run game. They got to figure out how to score in the red zone as well. You got to score points in the playoffs to win.
Sean's running the football, 152 yards rushing today. You know what? Take that every week, right?
Yep.
Their quarterback over 200 yards passing, 31 for 38. No interceptions, no touchdown. That's good. That's good, solid offensive football.
But 31 completions for 212 yards. That's dink and dunk offense.
Exactly. They got to become
That's
more
ball
flashy.
control offense.
It's not me. It's not me, Bub.
They got to get a
It's not
spark.
exciting.
It's not me, Bub.
Yes.
All right, so let's switch over to the NFC and take a look at the NFC playoff picture right now, because here's a team that may have straightened things out. The Rams are currently the #1 seed. They have won 7 of their last 8. I know they stumbled last week, but they're still as hot as anybody in the conference. And the Packers, with that win, not only take over the North, but they move over into the #2 spot right now, while the Eagles and Bucks seem to be just trying to figure out who they are going down the stretch. Keep in mind the Seattle Seahawks, only because they're trailing the Rams in the tiebreaker right now, and they still play again later this season. They're the top wild card team, with the 49ers and Bears still hanging in there. And the Bears went from the #1 seed all the way down to #7 with that one loss. Again, there's still more time left in the season here. But how I want to start with this Rams team. We saw them lose last week to Carolina. You said, maybe a game that they kind of overlooked. They certainly straightened themselves out today with a blowout win at Arizona.
I don't think there was any question that they were going to turn. Sean McVay, if you spent 5 minutes with Sean McVay, you're fired up. You're ready to go. For whatever reason, Carolina, as Terry talked about earlier today, they went down there on the road, and I think they assumed that they were going to just throw their uniforms out there and play, and they got punched in the mouth, and they, particularly on defense, I thought, and uncharacteristically, a couple of turnovers by Matt Stafford, one on the out pass and one it went off the defensive lineman's helmet,
and a fumble.
And they had a fumble. I think them bouncing back is not surprising. It's the games that, they've got Detroit coming up, And I think that December 18th game versus Seattle at Seattle could determine the division.
Yeah, I mean, today they kind of showed what we expected to see last week, but we've kind of seen pretty much all of this season until last week, is they can defense, got a great defense, can put a lot of pressure on the quarterback with a lot of young players. But offensively, Puka Nacua, I mean, what an incredible player this guy is. And Matthew Stafford, no better veteran quarterback in the league than Matthew Stafford. And the biggest thing with him, you know, he's done it all season except for last week. Throw touchdowns, don't throw interceptions. And whenever they do that with that defense that they have, and they have kind of a two-headed monster in the backfield with Corum and Williams, and first half of the game, Williams is the leading rusher. Second half of the game, Corum comes and takes over. And so when you have two running backs who can put up numbers like they put up, you have a quarterback who doesn't make mistakes, you have receiver. Devontae Adams wasn't even really a big factor today, and he's been one of the best receivers all season. And a strong defense, the Rams, if they stay focused, Detroit, whoever it may be, I don't know if they will beat the Rams. Seattle, I feel, is the biggest threat to them.
They got them at home, Detroit, so that, that means
Talk about balance. Today, the Rams, 281 yards passing, 249 on the ground. Gronk, I want to look at the other end real quick here. We've talked about Philadelphia. They're have lost 2 straight games. They get ready to take on the Chargers Monday night. But this Buccaneers team, you thought they got healthy last week. Maybe they were getting going, but they wind up losing again today, and now they've lost 3 out of 4 and are tied for first place with Carolina.
Actually, Kurt, I was just thinking that in my head, how disappointed I am with the Buccaneers right now. They started so red hot, but I feel like their mojo kind of ran out because they were like kind of a magical team at the beginning of the year to win some of the games that they won, and they were all at the last second as well. You can't win games every single week by just winning, with 1 second left on the clock, and now it's catching up to them. And I'm kind of scared that the Carolina Panthers are right behind them and can take first place in that division if they keep stinking like how they've been stinking over the last 3 weeks. They got to pick it back up.
Is that a technical term?
Get that offense going. I mean, Baker Mayfield, we got to get that baking going again. He was only 14 for 30 today. He was under 50% completion rate. I mean, they got to find a way to pick up that momentum and get back on track.
He's good about self-motivating. Baker is one of those guys, folks. If you're around him, you just bounce into his little zone. He just inspires you. So I'm surprised that they're not, feeding off that down in Tampa. I'm surprised they're losing these football games.
Well, I'm tell you right now, you know who's going to win that division? Carolina Panthers.
Oh, well. And you know who they finished the season with? Seattle at home. That'll be interesting. Seattle will need to win that game, and they may need to win that game.
Right.
It's going to be good, yeah.
Big in the NFC playoff picture. All right, right now let's get inside some of the victorious locker rooms around the NFL here in Week 14.
This guy just continued to do unbelievable stuff, but first multi-touchdown game, did his damn thing again.
Love you guys, man. Let's keep it rolling, huh? Rams on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Rams! Yeah. And now can we just consistently do it? We got plenty of football left to challenge each other, challenge me, challenge our coaching staff. Every day we're just trying to be the best version of this year's team with all the lessons we've learned throughout. I'm so proud of you guys. More importantly, hit some music and enjoy yourselves in here.
We got some great dudes in this locker room, and there's been some tough things said in the past couple weeks. But that sometimes the truth hurts. But when you stick together and you bust your ass off, this is what you deserve. This is what it's all about. And we knew what kind of game it was going to be. It's never easy. I can't thank every one of you enough in this room for what you do and what you give this organization every single day, because this is going to pay off in the long run.
You guys are so damn tough. So damn tough. No quitting this football team. And in 17, I don't know what play that was supposed to be, but you did a hell of a job.
Put the ball down, that was it.
Put the ball down. Hey, I'm serious. What we talked about last night, man, going through adversity, you learn a lot about yourself and what you can become. And you come out on the other side stronger and better because of it, and that toughness element is undefeated, man, in football and in life. Don't ever forget that, man.
Another big comeback win for Buffalo as their quarterback gets 4 total touchdowns. A lot of quarterbacks injured today, though, around the National Football League. Let's check in with Jake Glazer to find out the latest as to particularly Daniel Jones.
Yeah, well, Daniel Jones, like you guys were talking about, he did, in fact, tear his Achilles. He's going to get surgery very quickly. But the other thing about Daniel Jones that I think people don't remember is he only signed a 1-year deal with the Colts, who was scheduled to be a free agent after this year. So a lot more difficult for Daniel Jones and the Colts. So Jaden Daniels, he aggravated that elbow injury today for the Washington Commanders. However, Dan Quinn said after the game he didn't fully injure it again. He could have gone back in. It was the coach's decision to sit him out, but a really difficult injury in that game as well. Zach Ertz, who's 5th all-time of tight ends in the receiving list, 13th year, he went down what appears to be an ACL injury, perhaps more as well. Really difficult to see.
All right, thanks for the info, Jay. Let's get to who won the day. Let's start with you, Mr. Bradshaw.
You know what? I've never met Mike Tomlin, but I know one thing. He is an outstanding, phenomenal coach. And today you deserve that win today. Maybe that everybody will leave you alone and respect you for what you've accomplished in the great city of Pittsburgh.
I talked about J.J. McCarthy in the pregame show today, how he just needs to go out there and just focus on the game of football, and that's for sure what he did today. He played fast, he played efficient, and he managed that offense really well. He had 3 touchdown passes and 0 turnovers. That's great for his growth and maturity going forward.
Well, I got to say, Josh Allen, I mean, what he did just took over what he needed to take over the game and led that team to victory. And that little clip there, he's wearing that hat, and you can see those hats were designed to benefit the children's hospitals there. So great job on and off the field, Josh Allen.
Good guy. I tell you, I thought these two teams were going to split the home and home, and Green Bay held serve at home. Ben Johnson won the press conference. Matt LaFleur won the game, and he won the day.
Well, you made a fight, Howie.
Getting creative.
Way to go.
I'm proud of you.
He did it by himself, too.
Man. Every now and then, he pulls it out. All right, that'll do it for our coverage here of Week 14 around the National Football League. It's going to be a fun final stanza. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you again next Sunday with the pregame show. All of our coverage starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time with Fox NFL Kickoff. Stay tuned. Animation Domination comes your way next on Fox.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.